more, just a little more, just a little more.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Just a Little More. We are back. We took a little break, but we are here in full effect. Here, at Just a Little More, we're dedicated to getting just a little bit more information, just a little bit more tea, and just a whole lot of love. I have Maurice is back in the house. Maurice is back in the house. We missing Chantal, but she'll be back with us next week. And we got my sis Gary. Hey. So
I missed y'all.
Black topics.
Likewise.
All black topics from a black point of view. Gary will get us started. We got some juicy stuff to talk about today. Okay.
We had a whole planning situation, and this is going to go off the rails because I'm just irritated. Wait, let me first of all say this is all about black topics. So this is everything from politics to pop culture, impacted and everything black. And the first thing I really want to talk about, and we don't have all the details, I'm going to leave it on Ace to really keep me reeled in. But there was just some news that came out regarding Ice Cube and his somehow role or support or affiliation with the Trump campaign. Ace, do you have some clarifying points on what exactly happened before I go off?
Yeah, no. So I guess this all started around the Democratic convention. Ice Cube got on Twitter and posted a video talking about the Democrats in particular at this point and how I guess they hadn't really talked or touched on Black issues in particular at the convention. And according to him, all he heard was vote Trump out, vote Trump out, vote Trump out, and not much else. And I guess there's this, contract with Black America. I don't quite know where it came from, but apparently it's something
Slavery.
But apparently it's something that he or somebody approached both the Democrat and the Republican Party about. And I guess according to the Democrats, it was something that they said they would embrace or really go in more depth about after the election. And I guess Trump's campaign apparently pounced on it as an opportunity more than anything. And then I guess one of Trump's people tweeted out a shout out to Ice Cube, like you shared with us, about opening up about his support or something. I guess they kind of took some things out of context, but fact of the matter is, I think Ice Cube's viewpoints about everything are way off base right now. And I'll let you go ahead and say what you got to say, and I'll chime back in. But
well, I think there's just an irritating factor here. We've talked about this before, and these two know I'm not very political. That is not, my wheelhouse. But I think there's a clear line here being drawn in the sand. We've seen culturally, and especially when it comes to black situations and Black lives. And I just feel like optics are everything at this point. There should be no conversation with the Trump campaign as it relates to anybody Black or anyone that's on this right side of these issues. And this is not a typical situation. I wish people would stop saying it as that. Like, he doesn't have to be a Democrat, but he's definitely not a Trump supporter. And I just always want to keep making that delineation that Trump is not a Republican. He's something completely different than a Republican.
He's a Trumpian.
He's a Trumpian. And Ace, I think that's a conversation that I feel like we're missing in this whole dialogue, is that he is not a Republican. So you can be a Black Republican. That's not an issue for me.
Yeah, we talked about it. But right. And I think the thing that just drives me bananas is people who this time around are trying to come off as though they're being provocative or they're being thought-provoking or sitting on some higher plane of intellect by, kind of putting these two parties on the same plane. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people, grading Trump and his spineless Republican allies on a curve. Both parties, and that was a big part of Ice Cube's issue. I think I was reading some other things he said on Twitter, and he was talking about how, just all across the board, there's problems in politics. And that's absolutely true. Both parties have a long way to go in addressing the needs of the Black community. But let's be real here. One party is on their way to doing that, and the other party doesn't give a damn about Black people.
Not at all.
I mean, Trump had 3.5 years to work with the Black community. And what have we gotten from him? Charlottesville and the emboldenment of the white supremacists all across the country.
And the spread in the Black community.
Exactly. and no real plan to address it.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to talk about voter suppression later, but we've gotten these brazen attempts to suppress the Black vote across the country. You know, we've got an administration that thinks that calling out systemic racism is an insult. You know, so an administration that repeatedly uses coded language to their supporters to sow the seeds of racial division and tension in this country. And so it can't be clearer to me that, you know, one party we can work with and one party at this point is irredeemable.
Yeah.
Y'all, when in all these years of politics, and you know, I pay attention to pop culture, now that I am on, when has Ice Cube ever been involved in any type of political conversation or any type of political, it's never been a thing. So that's what the irritating part. So all of a sudden you are worried about, it just doesn't make any sense to me that all of a sudden he has a voice in the matter.
And then not a lot of people are saying anything. If you can say something about Cardi B opposing him, y'all need to shame Ice Cube, because what makes him an expert on anything political
at all?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so we need to be having that conversation as well and bringing awareness to, like, it's what are you really saying in this moment? Do you really believe that this is a quality president and leader for our country? Or are you concerned just what's going on? Is that the issue? Because right now it's whose side are you on?
That's it.
That's really the truth. Whose side are you on? And for you, most of your constituents, people who are buying your records, watching Fridays, they are Black. And Trump is not for them, period.
Right. And I just think it can't even, the choice, we've talked about it before and we can go into it again tonight. The choice cannot be clearer. I mean, you've got a president who throughout his life has shown that he's a racist. We can go back to the Central Park Five if we wanted to and talk about what he did there. But you've got a candidate in Joe Biden, who I think over the years has shown that he really does bend more to the right side of history. And hell, I mean, he was in the Obama White House for 8 years around tons of intelligent Black people, Black men, Black women, and everything. Listen, give me that any day over what we've got over these past 3.5 years. Any day. It's not even a choice.
Your Black ass is from Compton, my nigga. And that is where my issue comes in with this whole, like, Compton is still Compton. Compton is not like gentrified or like bought up or anything like that. So I just wanted you used our money, Black culture, like we bought things for you. I'm getting tongue-tied because I just find it interesting how all of a sudden everybody wants to try to, like you said, friend, be provocative. This is not the time to be provocative and go on whatever you feel like is an intelligent conversation. We could have been having these conversations years ago. Don't all of a sudden pick now because the line is drawn in the sand. And the
stakes are too high.
Clear. Too high. This shit makes me emotional and causes me to drink.
Let's not
just turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit.
It makes me really upset because I don't think that we understand the critical nature of this election. And I'm guilty. Like, I'm guilty of not really paying attention to things. I've never paid attention to a damn confirmation hearing in my life. And I'm listening to her like someone, first of all, who's an adult, who wants to be married one day, who might have kids. Like, it's just a lot that goes into, I guess, getting older that I think that we're not little kids anymore.
No.
And I think that is the difference in voting now.
Exactly. What's happening at every level of public service directly affects us these days.
Way more aware. And that goes into where, like, literally the debate. It makes me think about the presidential debate and how, like, before, I mean, I watched Hillary and Trump debate, and of course I was like, I had no thing in my mind that he would win. I thought Hillary had it. It was making no sense. And so I really didn't pay attention to it. I was like, Hillary got it. I really didn't I went and voted for Hillary. That was it. But we saw what happened. And so this time I was looking at every moment of the debate. It was almost like watching football, if I like football like that. Because I was in every moment of it. And I literally, if you left that debate and you still vote for Trump, I'm really worried about your well-being because he did not debate. He said nothing clear. He had no clear points. I still don't even know what side he is on. All I
That
know
was-
is he told the
that was
good boys.
funny, man.
I was gonna say, if you want to call that a debate,
Yeah.
listen.
That was not a
One
debate.
No, one candidate came to talk directly to the American people about the issues
Yeah.
of the day, and the other candidate came to show his ass. And it's as simple as that. And you know, I've been embarrassed to be an American quite a bit lately, but I think that night took the cake. I mean, y'all's president had an opportunity to denounce white supremacy. He didn't do that. He went after Joe Biden's son, who was dealing with a cocaine problem. And the timing he did it, like while Joe was trying to give his closing remarks, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And just continued to insult, you know, Biden every chance he got. Cut him off. The man couldn't even get a whole point out. And, you know, so people, again, try to draw this, you know, equivalency saying that they were both like two kids in the sandbox. No, one came to be presidential and one did not. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I had no problems with Biden telling Trump to shut up. I had no problems with him calling Trump a clown, because he echoed exactly what we've been saying to each other over the past 4 years. And quite frankly, I just think Biden is too nice a guy to be on a debate stage with Trump. He doesn't have a malicious bone in his body, and you know, he doesn't like to get in dogfights like that.
I think and I would love us to discuss this stark contrast, right, between the vice president debate and then the presidential debate, because it was a stark contrast. And I'll be honest, I left the vice president debate thinking she could run this damn country.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And I know we have all these thoughts around why she was picked or whatever, but I honestly thought he better be glad he picked her to be his running mate, because she's going to be one of the reasons. She was just very presidential, and I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect from Kamala in that. I didn't know what to expect.
Well, I'll tell you this: I was really hoping that she would put more of her prosecutor hat on.
Yeah.
I was hoping that she would have hammered Pence the same way that she got into Kavanaugh at his confirmation hearings. But that speaks to a bigger point that I have. I'll say this first about just that debate. It was good that it was more of a debate, a debate in a presidential election cycle that we're used to having. Two candidates who are polished debaters and actually politicians. Mike Pence is the most eloquent liar on the face of the planet. You know, it was one lie after another. You know, we talked about, you know, lied about Obama's jobs record, lied about Trump and the Republicans having a comprehensive plan to replace the Affordable Care Act, and continued to lie about voter fraud and mail-in ballots. So for me, the biggest thing I hated about the debate was that Kamala didn't hit him harder than she did.
Yeah.
And that speaks to a bigger point that I have. A lot of the coverage before and after the debate really drove me crazy, how they were talking about how important it was that Kamala didn't come off too angry or too aggressive. Yeah. And I think that you have that with a lot of minority or, you know, women of color in politics at every level. And why the hell shouldn't they come off as angry or aggressive? If that's what's in them, and if that's what's in them to get the job done, quite frankly, Black women more than anybody else have the right to be angry and aggressive every day they walk out of the house. Let a little bit of that show. And if you make a couple of white folks cry in the process, so be it.
But she had to be so extra careful, like throughout the process.
Exactly.
And know that, and you know, she may not ever admit it, but I know in the back of her mind, she was just so conscious of how she would be presented. Because I know how the world, the media was waiting for her to have that angry Black woman moment or whatever they quote unquote, you know, try to deem, or, you know, for her just being a real human in that moment when somebody's talking foolishness and her addressing it, you know, but her facial expressions said it all. Because I think every Black woman, every gay knew it. Like, she was like, boy, I mean, be quiet. Be quiet. And then also the other thing that it brought up too is that this dynamic where men speak over women, touch women, where what they are saying, especially Black women, where when they are speaking, they just feel the need or the right or the privilege to speak over them. That's Black and white men. They do that a lot of times in conversations. And so that was so clear. And I love when she said, it's the vice president speaking. And I was like, oh. Stolen. I'm gonna start saying it to everybody. I'm speaking.
I'm gonna start falling asleep to it, just on loop.
Like I'm speaking. And then on top of everything, that fly on the top of that, I said, if that is not God saying, listen, look, this is a fool talking.
Listen, flies are attracted to shit. And you saw that I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but there was a fly on Amy Coney Barrett at one of the hearings. I said, this thing is making its rounds.
Black Twitter said he finna get a record deal. The fly finna get a record deal. I said, look at this fly on his head. The whole time, it had my whole attention. I was like, and he don't feel
I just sat there. I was just like,
it's toupee. It was, didn't feel it. It was.
Oh my God.
Listen,
the hairspray was too thick.
Yes.
Black women are at the forefront of a lot of this stuff that is going on culturally, and they're really a huge topic of discussion. And one of the things that we must discuss, right, is Meg Thee Stallion, powerful SNL performance, talking about just the protection of Black women and things in general. We hadn't discussed the fact that Tory Lanez actually came out, was charged formally with the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion, has been arraigned and everything like that. We never discussed really that issue, but I think it's one of the strange things I feel like is going on now is that Black women are really having to take up for themselves. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing it in a way that I feel like is fine. Like, I think they should, but I just wish we were, as a community, a little more supportive of Black women and believe in them and believe in their stories. And it's just been really sad to sort of watch them have to sort of hold themselves up and us just sort of like tear them down. You should see the kind of comments that are going on.
People joked about her shooting. Like, she had to literally say, she had to show pictures of her.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing that goes back to that. People do not believe Black women. They don't believe what Black women speak. They don't listen to when Black women speak. So yeah, Black women are like, dang, if you're not gonna have my back, if you're not gonna support me in this, then I have to speak for myself. I have to use my voice because I have the power to do it. It's like, but damn, can you just help me in those moments and support me?
Exactly.
I mean, that performance was so powerful because it talked to Breonna Taylor, and it talked to just Black women who are the most unprotected, I believe, in America. They're the most unprotected. And
we can say around the world if we wanted to.
Around the world.
Very true.
World. I was thinking about it, and Ace may be able to tell me the country, but I think it's either not Nigeria, but it's in Africa, where they said the rape statistic is that women are raped. 3 women are raped every day. 3 women are raped every day. And I'll put that in the comments below, more of the direct information of that. But it just shows even more how Black women, Black girls are so unprotected. Are they treated as just property? Are they treated as not seen? Because they cannot hide, of course, their Blackness, but they also have the double of being a woman and not being and listen to it as well. So I think Meg did amazing. I think she stood on herself.
Absolutely.
Let everybody hear that she's here and that she is more than just, a WAP. She's a WAP and she makes statements. Yes.
But why don't we believe them? Why don't we believe Black women? We've seen it like time and time again. They'll say something. I'm guilty of being like, is that really true? Mm-hmm. It's like we're always ready to wince and squint at things instead of just taking what they say at face value. Why does she have to release pictures of a shot foot for us to really believe her in that?
I think they really going back to Black women are just angry, or Black women are just doing the most.
Right. That's exactly what it is. That's why we don't want to listen, is because it doesn't fit the narrative that we've painted in our heads.
Yeah.
And anything that deviates from our truth, our version of the truth, we can't hear it. And honestly, it's those things that are uncomfortable to hear that we need to hear so that we can start doing right by our sisters. I just it drives me bananas. And I've got a lot of Black female friends. We all do. And I do my part to just like sit back and listen as often as I can. And I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Listening is half the battle. Stop trying to talk over our sisters. Stop trying to discredit their stories. it's true. Not only are Black women the most disrespected among us, but they are the strongest as a result.
Yeah.
And I think that the sooner we realize that strength, the better off we all will be.
But let me tell you about a Black woman I do not believe, and that's Cardi B. I do not believe that she is going to leave Offset. I do not believe that they are divorced. I do not take that. I do not receive that. I'm like, girl, come on. They just came from Las Vegas. It was her birthday weekend. It was all over Wendy. And baby, they got pictures of her humping him.
See, that's the stuff.
You know what I'm saying? She taking up with him on Twitter. She's not over him. She is not leaving Offset. I do not believe Cardi B. I don't.
That must be some really good sex she's getting as I sit here and think about that.
It's got to be. I mean, you see the way they are with each other in public all the time. Like, we're always grabbing on her ass and her boobs and everything. I'm like, yeah, listen, that's a snapshot of what that bedroom life is like. And that's always been the thing for me. And Joyce, I think you're actually right. Like, I feel like their relationship just always seemed a little over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very over the top. And so, you know, it seems like you're right. It has its ebbs and its flows. And I don't feel one way or the other with those two. I let them say their stuff and I just watch and see what they're going to do next. Because you're right.
I feel like it's like that hood love story, right? That we're just sort of invited to the party to see what's going on. Like, we all know a Cardi B Offset situation. Like in our own personal lives, it's like, she ain't going nowhere.
You know what I want out of it, though? I want a reality show.
Yes.
That would be good reality TV.
I would watch it faithfully. I love Cardi B. I really do. And I would be all up in her life. And her, talking about this.
I could be completely wrong, but something about Cardi just reads authentic and true to me.
Oh, totally.
If this was any other person, I would be like trying to psychoanalyze it. For some reason, I feel like she knows what the hell is going on. I feel like she's so in control of this, and I could be wrong. Like, I could be. I just feel like she knows what's going on. She knows what kind of dude she got. Like, but it's like she loves him, and it's good and it's fun. Maybe she'll outgrow it one day, but I just don't mind watching them. He ain't hit her upside the head or shit.
Right. I tell you what, I think that when it comes to relationships like that, the biggest thing that I think will help anybody deal with it, embrace the chaos.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that really is it. Like, they have their ebbs and flows, their highs and lows. They love, like you said, they love each other. Yeah. Just go with it, I guess.
Just go with it.
As much as I can say. If they like it, I love it. Right.
Yes, let them love. I would watch every show. I want her to make another album about it. Talk about how low down he is, and then talk about how much she love him. I'd be like, yes, Cardi, yes. I love it so much. But the last thing before we leave out of here, and this is a really big one because this is a very personal one to my heart, and I really want to look closely to the people in Georgia, whoever has early voting now. Go vote.
Yeah.
Go
Yes.
vote. Yesterday I went and I woke up at 6:30 a.m. and I went and voted. I didn't leave until 10 a.m.
Yeah.
The lines were wrapped around the corner. It was hot outside, y'all. This is a real thing of voter suppression. I really believe.
Oh, so real.
Like it is scary how they're really trying to silence the vote, trying to discourage people from voting. While I was standing in line, the voting machines broke two times. And the people would come out and say, oh no, the machine is broken. So people would walk away. They'll always back up, but those people left.
Listen, bring your lawn chairs, pack some snacks, pack a couple of bottles of water, find out where the closest public bathroom is, stay in that line and vote. Because like you said, the voter suppression is real. We saw it in the last Georgia gubernatorial race. And we're seeing it again. We saw it in the primaries. And we're seeing it again in this general election. You see all the Republicans out here, like, again, spreading these lies about voter mail-in ballots. We've seen the Republican governor in Texas limiting one ballot box to each county in the state. Mind you, 6 counties in Texas have a population of more than 1 million. And these are huge spread out counties.
Yeah.
One drop-off box. You see the California Republicans who are leaving fake ballot drop-off boxes across
Yes,
the
I
state.
heard about that today.
Yes. I mean, so, with these brazen voter suppression attempts, all around the country, it's important that we know and use reliable sources for our information, so that we stay educated and so that we educate other people. And that just goes to like just the Black vote and its importance this time around. 2016, again, Clinton versus Trump, 4.5 million registered Black voters did not vote. That includes tens of thousands in cities that Trump won by just 1 or 2 percentage points. In states that he won by 1 or 2 percentage points. So that tells you everything you need to know right there. Black voters can make the difference this time around.
Absolutely.
We really can. And so I've been heartened by what I've seen, around the country. I was watching Roland Martin actually posted a video in Texas on his social media where he was, showed one of the long lines. And we could look at the long lines one of two ways. It's a problem, right? It's Black communities, the wait time to vote is significantly longer than in white communities.
That's right.
But to see these Black folks out there dedicated to voting is encouraging. And I want to continue to see that.
All ages too. Like
exactly.
Not grandma, not granddaddy, not mom. It was college kids out there,
right,
line and voting.
The early voter thing is like a legit this time. Like people are. Really
I think they said. Oh, totally. I think it's over 10 million people have already voted across the country. Yeah.
People know the urgency in this.
Yes. I mean, and listen, I think that y'all's president has done nothing but show exactly who he is. And it's good to see that people are not standing for it. But we got to ignore those polls too.
Yeah. I was just going to say, friend, those polls, they had Hillary's, like they're saying there's this large gap between Trump and Biden. There's the same shit that happened with Hillary, and we were all sitting there like this.
Listen, every time I see one of those polls with Biden up in a battleground state, my heart starts racing and my PTSD gets triggered.
We were at your house. We were at Reese's house for the election party. And I remember how excited we were. We're like, oh, history's gonna be made.
You remember? Oh my God.
Oh,
yes.
Wow, we were there.
Yes.
Not you. You were on a date.
Oh.
You were on a date election night. I remember that.
We see where that ended.
You see, had you been there to give us some of your good juju, Hillary's not president right now. It's all on you.
Hillary will be our president. Thanks.
Right. But I'm telling you, I was ready. I had cooked a whole spread, had everybody over, had my little celebration playlist ready for when they announced Hillary as the winner. I had bought champagne for us to pop at the end of the night. And as the night progressed and things didn't go our way, remember we started drinking out of the bottles.
We were like, we were all like, what's going on? We were hot. I had started getting hot. Everybody was so sad. Like we really were like, is this?
We just couldn't even speak. We were without words.
Like,
you remember when we went to work the next day in DC? It was like this sort of hush over like, what is about to like happen?
We were all stunned.
Yes. And we saw what happened. We saw what happened. So please, like Marie said, get your chair, your umbrella. I packed a snack, some water. I sat down there. I watched my little Netflix and I waited. Please.
Yeah, that's right. Bring your iPads, bring your tablets. Make sure your phones are charged. Sit down. Stay in line.
If your ancestors could do it and they didn't have the luxury. I was hearing a story of one of my friends was telling about how her grandmother would try to go and vote. And in order for her to vote, she had to have the Constitution memorized. And I think about our ancestors in that moment when I was sitting and I'm sitting in my little lawn chair with my umbrella up, oh, it's so hot. I was like, check yourself. Check yourself and get together. Because your ancestors did not have that privilege. They did not have that moment to sit and wait. And then still in the same moment, they still were challenged when they went inside for the right that they already were endowed. So wait, go vote.
Exactly.
Don't wait till election.
You got enough time. It's October, girl. Do it. Like, get it done early.
Right.
Mail it in. Take it yourself. Do what you need to do. Go do whatever you need to do.
Got mine right here. just arm yourself with your options too. I got this, but I think I'm gonna go in to vote early. But like, know what your options
if you
are.
bring it in, they'll let you drop it off when you go in there early to vote. They'll be like, "How you want it? Yes, here you go, and let me see you." I was looking at my
scan it.
Yes, I was like,
scan it. Right.
Let me make sure I went through. I was like, wait. It's important, y'all.
It's so important.
It's so important. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Just a Little
indeed.
More. This is a great round of hot or black topics. Join us next week. Join us next week with a whole lot more. We'll have Chantal back. We'll have the whole crew back. Make sure you do something fun for yourself. Do some self-care.
That's it.
Self-care, and give yourself grace. You do not have to have it all figured out. You do not have to have all the answers. Give yourself grace this week. It's a lot going on. 2020 is a fool. So give yourself some grace and breathe. Just breathe. We love y'all. See you next week.
Just a little more, just a little more, just a little more.